Good morning, afternoon, and or evening, my sexy compatriots. This is the cup of coffee you all know and love, Minty Coffee, and welcome to another episode of Minty's Monty, the podcast you all know and love. Joined today, of course, by my lovely co-hosts. We have the daringly dashing Snooze. And the eagerly eccentric Elixir Zoderia.
I do believe that my broken yeet meter is still at maximum.
I think I said elixir, like
Elixir?
No, elixir, like elixir of life, like, you know, potion
Exactly.
elixir. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Oh God.
Well, I am exceedingly drunk right now. Not really.
Why would you be drunk? That's my job. Jesus Christ. Right.
That's my job.
No, your job is to sit there. Your job is just to sit there and take it like a man.
Oof.
No, it's not.
Okay,
actually.
so sit there and take it sit there and take it like a woman.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're using correct pronouns for once.
Right. The episode for today is going to be a discussion on controversial weapons. Specifically, for the most part, one for each class, though there is going to be a couple of exceptions here and there. What do we mean when we say controversial? Well, it's not just weapons that are overpowered or underpowered, but weapons that tend to have a controversial reputation in the community for one reason or another. So we're going to go over them, discuss, debate, hopefully rip each other apart. So yeah, crack open a cold bit of Coke, get some fucking salt and vinegar crisps, because this is going to be hella fire.
Hold up.
Also, be sure to grab some Advil, because it's probably going to give you...
Don't actually go, Snooze. We've got a job to do. He left! He left to get himself some fucking munchies! Why couldn't you have done that before? Okay, Alexa, we need to fucking the ambassador, bring it back. No, the ambassador. We need to bring it back. It needs to be brought back.
Maybe
also, by the way,
yes.
you said open up your conch.
No, I said Coke. Okay,
well,
you fucking lazy son of a... Why couldn't you have done that beforehand? Okay.
Because right. I literally just got up for that joke.
Okay, let's get into this. Right. So, yeah, we're going to be debating controversial weapons, so let's get right into it in order of class. For Scout, we're going to be looking at the Force of Nature, the dreaded double-barrel shotgun that haunts everybody's dreams.
Especially mine.
Okay, I do believe Snooze has the strongest opinion on this one for now, so we'll start with him.
It's not exactly wrong pronoun. It's not exactly the force of nature that I think is overpowered in the most part. It's just the general double barrels in general, because of their high fire rate, and like the force of nature is supposed to have a damage down, when in reality it has a damage up. Due to the pellets and the... Yeah,
I never understand why it has the increased pellet count. Like, I know I'm going to be... I'll quickly put it out there. I'm going to be kind of defending this thing, but I don't understand the increased pellet count stat. Like, if you took that off, like, I don't think it'd really hurt the weapon. Well, I mean, it would take it away, but, like, I don't think it'd be a bad thing.
The force of nature is, while strong... Well, strong. It's. I don't feel like it's as overpowered as the soda popper, really.
Oh yeah, we were going to talk about those in conjunction. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like the soda popper. It's the firing rate on it is just absolutely stupid. You know, what is it? A 50% firing speed, yeah. And it reloads in like 2 milliseconds. So, like, due to that, like, you can basically do the same amount of damage the Force of Nature does without the knockback, and you know, just destroy anyone who thinks about looking at you. And the hype thing, multiple air jumps, I just like, it makes you too hard to hit.
Oh God, I say. Hype, yeah, that's one thing I do fucking hate about the soda popper. Like, but
well.
Okay.
Again, you have to admit, beforehand when they had before they reworked it, it was pretty up there in terms of power. You know, you could earn hype literally by just running around in circles for literally nothing. Nowadays, you actually have to deal damage, and
which is really easy.
Takes a few. Well, not as easy as you think. Actually, it actually takes. It actually takes about a few hits to really get it going.
I think where he's getting from is the fact that you have to win an encounter with someone before you can use your jumps for another one. Because they're like,
and you know,
really
scout being the strongest class in the game.
Oh yeah, but like, you know, if you're a bad player, well, fuck you. Soda Popper hates you.
Yeah, it rewards skill with mobility.
Okay, but
skill in quotation marks.
I wouldn't put it like that, but okay. So I think my thing with the Force of Nature is I don't see it. Like, okay, I can sort of see why with the Soda Popper, because you don't have the knockback to deal with, but the knockback on the Force of Nature means getting that second shot, unless you're in like a really enclosed area, can be really fucking finicky. Like, the second shot can actually really hurt you. The knockback can actually really hurt you getting your second shot. And
oh yeah,
and I mean, Alexa, you were saying something about the knockback being too strong. I don't even really think
the knockback is ridiculous. The knockback is ridiculously strong, because like if you take a look,
it's like an air blast.
Okay, actually, you know what? No, it's worse than an air blast. Actually, take a scout, take a scout or a heavy or something that can withstand that first shot, and put him on the inside cliff balcony or whatnot on upward.
Well,
fire. Oh god, upward.
Fire. Now, yes, but like, just hang on now. Now, take a look at like upward, like you know that little wooden balcony area where where snipers like to sit there.
Yes, snipers, sentries. Get on with it.
Okay, take a heavy or some heavy class that can fucking stand that first shot. Aim upward at them with the Force of Nature, fire, and watch them soar across the entire first area with little to no effort. They will just soar with little, like, really no effort, and that's without them jumping in midair before you shoot them.
That's on a stationary target. Like when you're both.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. Even on a mobile target, it does.
Obviously, it'll do the same amount of knockback. But when they're actually mobile, they're not exactly gonna just sit there and let you fucking send them halfway across the map.
Right, but at the same time, even when they're mobile, even if they are running somewhere, a scout can easily just, you know, fucking run on by and just blast them into fucking Kingdom Come. And sure, yeah, that second shot's gonna, you know, be harder to hit since they're getting knocked up into the air as much as they are. But even then, like, I have seen many times a scout will usually nail that second shot in the air, and for most of the light to medium classes, that first shot deals enough damage to where the second shot, at least medium, sometimes longer ranges, can actually fucking follow up with the fucking kill.
I don't know.
It's ridiculoso.
I just don't fucking see it. I don't like. I get where you're coming from. The fire rate is too fucking insane, but I just don't see it. Like, if you're that good at aiming at scouts anyway, then the interval between shots with the stock... Yeah, but if you're that good at aiming with a scout anyway, then the interval between shots with stock shouldn't be hurting you anyway, really, should it?
Also, don't forget that the Force of Nature's knockback just sometimes just doesn't work. And that's
that's the other reason why I don't like it.
Yeah, that's one of the inconsistent
it's ridiculously inconsistent.
And then because of that, like, when it doesn't work, you'll just randomly just destroy anyone. And you said that, like, the second shot will mess you up, when in most cases, not really. If you just, like, if you just spam it, the instant you fire again, which, keep in mind that there's not much of a shot interval, you can easily kill a light class in one hit. I'm in Tier Walkway right now, and I have a medic bot that's about ambassador range, which is never mind. Bad example. I'm about mid distance, right?
Right.
And I can kill a spy easily. And with like a bigger class like a demo, if he'll ever spawn, here he is. If I'm like point blank or like going around him to the side, I can do 156 damage, and then you could easily follow that up with a pistol or something like that. And you know, you could easily kill him like that. 156 damage is more than half their health, and they'll have like 20 health left. 20 health is not much. If you pair it with the critical, you can just dead.
I fucking hate the crit. Hold on, I'll give that one to you. For one, it's really weird that you two are on the same fucking side. Okay, I can see where you're coming from. I'll concede to the fact that the fire rate is fucking insane, but I think we'll have to agree to disagree at the point where I just think it's like bad.
It's just ridiculously inconsistent across
that's
the
one
board.
thing I'll say. Yeah. Okay, moving on. We've got the direct.
Also, just one more thing.
Okay.
The force of nature's max damage if you're like up their nose, 195. Like that's way too much.
What with crits?
No, just normal.
Oh, 109.5. Did you say?
What?
What did you say?
109. I has said 195. Actually, 201. I just did with bullets.
Oh, with both shots, you mean?
Yeah, with both shots.
With both
shots.
shots.
Okay.
You can kill a soldier in one or two shots, which is basically just one.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you get a mini crit boost, you can two-shot a heavy really easy.
All right. Okay, moving on. We have the direct hit for the Solly Bird. Now, this is a bit of an interesting one. Many would say that the
do a barrel roll.
Many would say that the direct hit is simply a weapon that rewards good aim with projectiles, which is quite a lot different than good aim with hit scan, because the splash is near non-existent, so you can't fucking abuse splash like many other soldiers do. You have to hit your rockets dead on, and as a bonus, you get higher damage, plus air shots are really fucking strong with this thing. Others,
I don't get why.
Like you don't get why mini crits on air shots?
Yeah, like I don't get that stat. It's just so random, and like I feel like all air shots should. No, well, that's. I mean, I feel like it shouldn't like mini crit on air shot because like,
I feel like mini critting on air shots should be given to a rocket launcher more focus on actually popping people up. Like I get
the direct hit.
I mean, the direct hit can do that, but it can be variable sometimes. It's like the force of nature in terms of consistency.
Here's the thing. You when you're launching them up, you either just kill them outright or you launch them up, which direct hit's so easy to get air shot. Really, it's I MG'd Minty not too long ago, and I was popping off the direct hit air shots just like
something easy.
Yeah. And I just quintuple air shot the demo easily.
I still won, but
no. Well,
was it we MG'd quite a lot. We MG'd quite a lot the other day.
I won all of them except for Soldier, and that was due to my ping being like 2 billion.
Yeah, that was the scout ones, wasn't it, mainly? And the I think the demo.
Yeah, I still won scout and I still won pyro.
Yeah, just, it was only shot because he's better at hit scan. But anyway, yeah. I think Alexa has the stronger opinion on this one though because of the
the direct hit really more or less is pretty OP in regards to the fact that it has a base, not 20% extra against players or against buildings, a base 25% increase in damage overall. So that makes the rockets go up from, instead of like 90, it does like a basically like 100 something, 100 like 10 something, or maybe a little bit more than that at base damage.
At base damage, it's about let me see, it's about 70-ish. No, 110 exactly.
Yeah, 110 base damage. So basically, what this means is, for the most part, and even with like the damage fall off and ramp up, you can basically just one-shot a light class at point-blank range with little to no effort on your part. I mean, it's not like they can fucking avoid it anyway, because point-blank range with fucking light-speed projectiles really doesn't offer you that much.
You may bring up the point that like, oh, just don't get in point-blank range of the soldier, when that's really easy to do for him to just jump in front of you instantly.
It's literally, I have literally been ambushed by direct hit soldiers so many times, it's not even fucking funny. It's ridiculous. And the worst thing about it though too is that the damn thing fucking still random crits. It doesn't. It has a base damage buff like the Scotsman Skull Cutter, and it's still fucking random crits. So I have been sniped many times by random crit rockets. Either
Well,
playing,
random crits shouldn't matter because
heavy
you
or whatnot.
shouldn't bounce around them.
That's true, but
Because
considering the fact that if I'm playing heavy, get completely blown into smithereens by a random crit rocket fired from across the map by a soldier using the direct hit, I don't think that's really very fair, because to be frankly honest, with the projectile speed and whatnot, I can't really see it coming. It's ridiculous.
I'm really torn because I love the concept behind it. It's such a simple concept. Rewards.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna cut you off right now.
Fuck you.
Because
Go on.
I feel like I don't think the direct hits completely go. I think it's extremely strong for what it is. I just feel like some of the mechanics are just odd.
It's like, yeah, like I'm really torn in that way because I love the concept. It's so simple. Rewards better aim with better damage, but it rewards shit aim with next to no damage whatsoever. But up at point blank, yeah, light classes. Okay, I get soldiers.
You have no chance.
I get soldiers supposed to be a fucking power class, but no other power class can one hit. Like, one hitting is something reserved for pick classes, like spy, like sniper.
I just checked, by the way, the crit or the mini crit on airshot deals about like 150 damage.
It deals 150. It deals like around about 150 at base, but it usually will do around about 170 to 180 at some points due to the damage fall off.
Yeah, and like
ramp up.
180 or whatever. That's enough to kill a medic. Enough to kill a pyro. Enough to kill all the light classes.
I mean, you have to also consider that it's after you've blown somebody up. So if you blow a heavy up, even though heavy doesn't float as much as other classes do, because of how fast the fucking rocket is, chances are you'll probably hit the fat fucker anyway.
Yeah, but you also have to take in consideration that it will mini crit against any airborne target. It's not one that's directly knocked up into the air by your rocket. It is any airborne target. I will look at the stats.
I don't think it's any airborne like jumping. I don't think it's like jumping.
It is.
No, it is. I swear that it's people that are sent in airborne bikes. Right. Mini-crits targets launched airborne by explosions, grapple hooks, or rocket packs. So it's not like the fucking old reserve shooter that just mini-crit anybody that jumped.
No, hey, let me see.
It says right here, launched airborne by explosions. So it's not just anyone that's airborne. But like, if it's an enemy soldier, but if it's an enemy soldier that rocket jumps, then yeah, fair point. Yeah. Which is very fucking common.
Yeah, that's where most of your kills with the shut up. That's where most of your kills with the, direct hit or mini coming from. When soldiers jump, you just say no, you. Right.
I did have some issues though with scouts double jumping sometimes, and I think this is still a thing with this sometimes. Like, I've encountered this a few times happening, but if a scout double jumps for whatever reason, sometimes it will mini crit with that. I don't know why.
Well, that's just a bug, and you know.
Yeah, I
shouldn't have to bounce around bugs because they're bugs.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
They shouldn't have them in the first.
Okay. Let's move on. We're gonna go over to Le Pyro. And we're going to be talking about... I wanted to do the fucking Scorch shot, but we just didn't have enough to talk about, so we're going to have to take the common sense route and pick the good old Phlogistinator, or as I call it...
useless weapon.
Exactly! It's fucking useless! It's a piece of crap! And
it's not a piece of crap, it's the piece of crap.
Yeah, it's the quintessential garbage weapon for Pyro, and people still over-hate it to fucking oblivion just because they're bad casual players who don't know how to fight one uber-medded power class. Uber-med plus sticky demo does better spawn camping than the fucking flog. Change my fucking mind.
And you know, like still complain about the Uber it gives you when like you're still unable to move after the taunt. So there's like, if you were instantly able to pop it like the Crikey meter from whatever that weapon's called,
the cleaner carbine.
Yeah,
yeah.
you would like that. Maybe their point would be there, but you still have like a second of standing still.
Yeah, but like
to a point where like a sniper could headshot you. And you know you can't air blast. So
even when
underneath you,
even when it refilled your health, I don't even think it was that bad then. And that was when it was probably the most hated it ever fucking was. I still don't get why, because, okay, yeah, he's refilling his health out of fucking nowhere, but he's still a stationary target that can easily be dealt with by one headshot, a couple of stickies, or just 1/2 competent power classes focusing him for a moment. He's got no air blast, so soldiers and demos have basically a free kill. One heavy does more DPS than the flog crits all ever do.
I do have to point out that you are bringing that point up in regards to the fact of how it used to be in the past, without taking into consideration that pre-Jungle Inferno, the damn flame hitboxes, and this also counts for the Phlogistonator since it was also a flamethrower, were buggy as shit. Not only that, hang on now, Snooze, I'm talking here.
Woo!
Fucking.
They're bugs.
Shush, you fucking ambassador jack.
Shush up. Shush up.
All right.
Shush up.
Fucking shut you up, you fucking spy man.
Go on.
I don't mean spy.
Shush.
Go on, let him talk.
Okay, so let's go back a couple years, back when Tough Break dropped. Okay.
No.
We're gonna talk about the Pyro eclipse of Tough Break. So when Tough Break dropped, initially, of course, as we knew back then, Pyro was unreliable. Pyro was unreliable in terms of his damage.
Yep.
His ping made his fucking hitboxes for his flames all janky as shit. His DPS could vary from either very minimal or exceedingly maximum. And fucking the way that it interpreted things, it made it very unpredictable. Couple that with the Phlogistonator's ability to basically refill the Pyro's health and grant him crits for a short period of time, made a Phlogistonator Pyro very hard to deal with. Now, it is true that pre-Tough Break, it was easy to deal with. It was pretty much an easy kill if you tried to use the Phlogistonator's ability in the midst of combat. You know, you could basically pop him with a rocket or basically shoot him to death during the taunt animation. That's true. But here is where shit went south. In Tough Break, they made it to where a Pyro that activates that taunt is ubered and does not take any knockback damage during the duration of the taunt. So basically, hang on. When they did that, they still had the mechanic that refilled his health in. So basically, you were invulnerable, unable to be pushed away by another Pyro to secure some running distance for the enemy teammates. And when you came out of that taunt, not only did you have your full health, but you also had 5 seconds of crits. So that, coupled with the unreliable hitboxes, basically meant that any person stupid enough to try to stay within about medium to close range of you was going to die a horrific death. Because I don't think you realize, like, nowadays it's a little bit more easier to deal with, but back then with the way DPS was, and especially with crit flame DPS, you would get melted in half a second before you could even pop off a shot. You will die.
I remember those fucking maybe it's just me and you know, being good at Pyro, not stroking the balls there, but maybe it's the fact that I've known how to deal with the flog pretty easily, and I don't think I've 9 times out of 10 any flog user I see just blindly runs at you and makes himself fucking mincemeat for one heavy on your team.
And this is true. I'm not saying that it's not a thing nowadays, but back then it was a lot harder. Right when the Tough Break update dropped, it was a lot harder to deal with it.
Yeah,
now later on, the next year in Meet Your Match, they fixed it to where you don't get any. No wait, actually no, it was a lot earlier than that. It was about a couple weeks after Tough Break drop. They did an emergency bug patch that basically removed the health refill ability.
Hey,
So
remember,
basically,
it only took them
clear
like
difference.
2 months.
Yeah, it only took them about a couple months, but they did it within a relatively shorter time than usual so that they could, like, kind of fix that situation. And now it kind of sits where it's at now, a couple adjustments here and there later.
What shit?
Where it is kind of shit. It really excels more or less in the ambush. It really excels more or less around trying to ambush.
Yeah,
but even then, even then, it's still really not even that difficult to deal with in that point of time. But back then, back before its big nerf, and back before it had its final eclipse and Tough Break, it was still controversially hated by a lot of different people because it really was not that difficult to get a full crit meter as a Pyro, and really it honestly wasn't that hard to use it for Pyros, especially for newer Pyros. I can't count on how many fingers back during my early days of TF2 how many times I died to a crit Pyro. I can't count on.
I think I can, but maybe that's just me. But okay, I think Snooze, do you have anything to say? Because you've not talked much for this.
I don't think it's overpowered. I just think it's the worst flamethrower in the game, easily.
That about it. So basically me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
right.
You know, the only reason people would think it's good is due to the
crits.
The buggy hitboxes of flamethrowers. Even now, it's mostly fixed, but there are still some problems with it. Like I just turned on I think the hitboxes for them are a bit too large.
Oh, yeah, flame hitboxes in general are way too large. I think it's they're all 12 hammer units big.
Yeah, they're 12. Big. When one is sometimes even too big. But like in general, yeah. I feel like the only reason people would say it's overpowered is due to
to put that
into
bugs. To put that into perspective, real quick, flame hitbox has been 12 hammer units big. The splash radius for the direct hit is 44 hammer units. So yeah, but anyway, we've got the flog out of the way. Let's move on to Scottish Tavish Finnegan de Groot. Lock and load. Oh boy. I love the lock and load. Like, if not for you shut the fuck up. If not for the fact that the Iron Bomber, is my go-to grenade launcher, just because it feels so right to use, the lock and load.
And because it sounds like an old guy farting.
The lock. Ew! The lock and load. Ew!
Ew!
Okay, shush. The lock and load takes what I like about the direct hit and amplifies it. Well, it used to. Back when it did increase damage on direct hits, because that's all it could fucking do, I fucking loved it. And now, even though it's mostly just a counter to Engies, I still use it mainly for the faster projectile speed, not because I suck with pipes, but because it allows for pill sniping, which I find really fucking fun and really fucking satisfying. It's like what I do with the Quickie Bomb launcher. The fact that you can get more range out of it makes for some really entertaining, more long-range gameplay. Sure, you're getting less damage out of it, but, like, the ability to fucking pick off someone at longer range, especially with a static 100 damage pill, is fucking beastly. And someone can easily say, well, at that range, you're going to need some mad fucking prediction, because people could easily move out of the way. Exactly.
Skill over splash.
Skill always beats luck, motherfucker.
Yeah, and
random crits like to
Fuck no.
Have a word.
We've already talked about that. No. Okay, Alexa, get your fucking shoes out the door.
Now, I think the block and load primarily is more or less solidified on its on dealing with engineer buildings nowadays is a good anti-NG spam tool or whatnot if you're having to deal with things like that. But I don't. What I really don't like about that though is that it can, or at least it used to, I suppose, be somewhat of a crutch for newer players in order to deal with it. Just shush. I didn't say it kind of still is now, but it used to be quite a crutch for newer players with the extra damage, and still with the added projectile speed. It can still be a little bit difficult to deal with. But for the most part, it really just comes down to aim.
Fight.
Like the definition of a crutch is something that helps disabled people. No, it's something that I think
gives bad players a leg up.
Yeah, give bad players a leg up and makes new or better players worse.
I still argue on that second one, but that's beside the point. Go on.
Yeah, and like I may not like. In my case, it defines as a crutch, honestly. But
really?
I'm bad with the lock and load, but that's only because I'm used to the grenade launcher so much, and thus it makes me worse. But like, I agree that it's not broken at all. It's completely fine.
I don't think it's really broken. It just can be. It can be a little bit difficult. I suppose in terms of dealing with new players sometimes in terms of the projectile speed. But nowadays it's not even even nowadays though it's not even really that much of a problem because most of the time with newer players.
Back before what gunmetal was it? It was. I think it was more of a problem.
Yeah, it was more of a problem back then when it used to do the 20% damage overall, because you newer demos and even me skill demos could basically just use it to just blow things right out of the water. Like basically all you had to do as a hybrid knight in order to be the most effective that you could was run a lock and load, run a charge and charge, run a Nylander, pop one pill, hit somebody, charge in, behead, move back, wait for your immunity to go up, and it's fucking all over again. You just repeat the process till you get forehead.
I'm actually gonna fucking take charge here for a second.
Minty being dominant.
I don't shut the fuck up. I don't see where the hell this idea that a faster projectile means it's a crutch or is easy to use comes from. I don't see the correlation.
It's harder for me. It's easily.
Like
it's actually harder for me too because I'm used for stock.
How do you make it a crutch when you have to hit direct hits to like do any damage? You don't.
No, that's not the point. That's not the point.
What is the point? Explain it.
The point is that
lay out the fucking red carpet.
The point is that it's harder to hit, like for people who are used to the stock, like when compared to, the lock, and like if.
But like, what about new players?
Even if I don't care about new players.
But that's the main thing that would make it a crutch, though. How is it a crutch for new players? That's what I'm not getting at.
Because they don't have the experience with the normal stock.
Yeah, and the added projectile speed does contribute a little bit to spam.
Because it makes it easier to aim.
Spam it down. Minty, just take a fucking lock and load and spam it down a choke and see how many
don't spam it.
You can spam any projectile down a choke and hit people because choke points are choke points.
What do you mean by spamming it? That's normal. I don't get your argument there.
But I'm still not seeing. I don't fucking get it. It confused me when Soundsmith said it. It confuses me when it's being said now. The faster projectile speed just means, at best, it just means you don't have to lead people as much. But like, how does that make it easier? You still have to directly hit people, which is still fucking hard with pills.
I'm used to leading people with a grenade launcher, and so it makes it harder for me. But like for new players, they don't have to lead them, and that's just one thing that they don't have to learn.
Well,
really.
You do still have to lead people, just not as much as stock. Well, but I don't. Okay, so it's used differently from the stock, but like most side grades are used differently from stock. So I don't see how. It's like would the direct hit be considered a crutch because of its insanely fast projectile speed?
Actually, that's part of the reason why I think a lot. That's why a lot of people have a beef with it, though, because like a newer player can just take it, spam it down, and choke. Yeah, just fucking go on. That's why.
I'm
that's
sick.
why
Spamming down a choke is such a fucking like easy. That's like the low-hanging ball sack. I mean, come on.
I
Like,
know, and that's where a lot of newer players reside.
Yeah, that's newer players. They're shit at the game. They don't know any better. You know what? We're gonna move on because I don't. There's no. Right. We're gonna move on.
I thought you wanted us to stream each other.
Yeah, shut up.
I thought you moved on a couple days ago.
Shut up. Okay. Right.
I thought you liked it. I thought you liked this kind of thing, Minty.
Shut up. No, I do like this kind of thing. But we're wasting too much time on the lock and load. We're already about 34 minutes in. We're gonna move on to the big Bolshevik bear himself, Misha, with the Fists of Steel. Now, it might be a bit of a weird pick, but just understand that Heavy doesn't have that many controversial weapons, so this was a bit of a tough one. Who would like to open? Because I kind of opened lock and load.
I have no idea.
I would like to go ahead and I'd like to go ahead and just say that now, and as a disclaimer, nowadays the Fist of Steel works and is balanced for the most part pretty well. However, pre-Jungle Inferno, the Fist of Steel basically made any heavy that decided to pull it out a tanking nightmare.
That's the
you could
point.
basically.
I feel like it lets you tank too much health because
that's what I'm trying to get on.
With 450, right? 450.
Yeah,
can tank up. What is it? 40%. So that's 600 health.
Yeah, that's an effective pool of 600 of basically 600 or more health.
Yeah.
So basically, you can survive a fully charged headshot, and if you have a medic rammed up in your ass at all times, like most casual heavies do, then you're basically a fucking nightmare to deal with. Especially when especially if you're Because, see, the stupid thing about Fist of Steel heavies that was really prevalent back before Jungle Inferno is that if they took any damage whatsoever, and that damage, even with the medic friend, brought them below, like, the 200 threshold, they immediately pull out the Fist of Steel and start fucking running for cover. It's amazing. And you can't fucking hit them at all. No matter what you hit them with, even if you nick them straight between the eyes with a fully charged headshot, they're still going to be able to survive that. Really, and with the added, you know, when they had medics and everything like that, when they had the medic overheal thing not on it yet, fucking it made it a lot harder to deal with. Nowadays, it's a lot easier to deal with because even if he can tank your damage, he can only tank so much because his overheal is cut in half, and the rate of healing that he has is also cut down quite a bit. So he's not quite so tanky anymore. You can still kind of survive a good bit. You know, he could probably survive a few some sniper body shots and things like that. But gone are the days where you can just basically tank a 450 headshot and get away practically scot-free. Even if he survives something that massive, it's really going to bring him down to like the very smallest dredges of his health.
I see the point, but I don't know, it just feels to me like giving up the massive DPS of the minigun is such a big trade. Like, you're, instead of uber damage at that range, you're instead having uber tankiness, which...
I feel like now, I'm gonna cut you off right there again. I feel like now, the Fists of Steel are better, or as in the case of less stupid. The main problem with the Fist of Steel was being able to be overhealed and have like an effective health pool of 600 bloody health, and like now, how much do you get now?
I think it's like I think you get like around about 380.
380-ish.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's better now as well. Like I remember in my back scratcher video, I made a reference to it. Like it helps with Uber building because of the penalties and all that, which is kind of like an unwritten upside of those downsides. So in a way, yeah, it is better now. And I still
the one main downside of it now is due to it being passive, the health down thing. That's completely passive. I mean, when Jungle Inferno came out, of course, it was buggy, so it didn't do that.
Yeah, it just didn't. It just flat out didn't fucking do it. It's still buggy quite now. It's quite buggy now. But like,
I mean,
but like, I see the point of how it was stupidly broken before, but I don't know. I just think the massive trade that you're giving for all that damage, I just thought it was fair enough. I mean, I see where you're coming from. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Anyone else wants to add?
No.
No, I pretty much said everything I wanted to say.
Okay, that was a very nice section. Now we're gonna get on to some proper beef.
Okay, so we didn't scream at each other enough this
Right.
last one, so now we're gonna kill each other
Right
over
then.
this one, basically.
Hey-ah! Here we go with the Rescue Ranger and the Wrangler. Oh boy. Where do we start? We're going to talk about them individually and then talk about why they're just as much of a pain together. We'll start with the Rescue Ranger, and Snooze hasn't taken charge for a while, so we'll let him open.
Come on, Snooze. You can do it.
The Rescue Ranger, it allows the, because overall, the healing that you get from the Rescue Ranger when you shoot, what is it, 4 pellets into your sentry, is more than the wrench. When you just, from 200 ammo, or whatever, metal, you heal more, with the,
60,
you heal more with the Rescue Ranger
60,
than you do with the
60 sentry health, 60 building health per 15 metal, which is quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a.
And don't forget that it's a good weapon itself too. Like, it's much different to aim since it's a projectile, but it's just like a, what is it? Direct hit speed, somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there.
It's like a shotgun direct hit.
Yeah, like if you can't aim, you can still get the fucking job.
But like, it's really good. Like, just
it can be. My only thing though that I have to say about in terms of the direct hit is quantifiably the Rescue Ranger, in terms of tankiness, the Rescue Ranger can be quite a bit to deal with, but ever since they nerfed it in Jungle Inferno, I found it's a lot more balanced in regards
I think
to...
it should take more metal, honestly, if they're gonna go with that.
Probably. My thing about it, frankly, is maybe more or less probably adjusting it to where
and here's the thing, by the way, just pointing out, a lot of the time you're going to be building next to your spawn, and like, let's say it's last and you're holding, right? You can just plop your sentry down, and from spawn, you can just open up, shoot a couple times, and when you run out of ammo, just walk back and refill it. And you may say, "Oh, you're gonna run out of ammo." Just go out and just whack it like twice, and then run back.
There's definitely a more infuriating part to the Rescue Ranger, which we'll get to after. So now we're gonna move on to the good old fucking Wrangler, and I'm just gonna outright say it. Fuck the Wrangler. Manual sentry aim as a concept is nice. I like that.
Here's the thing: the manual sentry aim. People complain about the aimbot that has, but that's needed since the sentry is server side and not client side. And if you didn't have that, you'd miss like 100% of your shots. So
yeah,
first of all, I'm gonna rule off.
Okay, that and are we ignoring that the main weakness of a sentry is supposed to be its range?
The range.
Yeah. So if you're going to give it manual aim, still keep it inside that fucking range. You're doubling the sentry's firing speed, which means anyone that's that close is going to get shredded twice as fast. That's already pretty fucking strong. On top of the one thing that I fucking hate, 66% damage resistance to everything while you've got the Wrangler out. That stacks already on top of the fact that the sentries have a hidden resistance to heavies. I can't remember what it is exactly.
You base as a sentry.
As a sentry,
you'll take a sort of 66% damage reduction to all sources. And also, if the sentry is sapped, it also takes like 30-something% less damage generally. But it actually used to do 60 all around, and whenever it was sapped or when it was wrangled. And even after the engineer dies, like, it's inactive for a few moments, but while it's inactive, it's still shielded.
Yeah, which means it can easily come back up and fucking wreck whoever might be shooting at it unless they're smart. And that doesn't even...
Which most times they're not.
Then it factors into the big problem. You combine the two. Fucking Wrangler...
And with their powers combined, they become even more stupid.
Here's another thing. Another thing with the Wrangler is that, like, the hold on, I'm trying to remember.
Dumbo.
Okay. With
on,
the Wrangler, like the amount of damage you can just tank in general. How much, like, what was it? 216 with a 66% resistance. That's too much.
Yeah, yeah. I think it puts it to like above heavy, like nearly overhealed heavy health, if not more.
And
yeah,
keep in mind, what do you lose for the Wrangler? Oh no, you're losing the pistol. Whoopee.
You're losing the pistol and you're losing the sentry's auto aim. But I mean,
you're losing the sentry's auto aim. What?
I mean, when you've got the Wrangler out.
When you're using it, yeah.
But I don't think that's not even that big of a downside because I don't think that's that big of a fucking downside because it already has the aim assist plus if you're most of the time you're going to be using the Wrangler to shoot someone who's getting out of your fucking range anyway because that's just what engineers do with it. But then when you fucking combine the two, remember the good old Sigafu save. Not only did you get your sentry to have fuck ton of health, but just when the enemy team is finally able to start whittling it down because you realize the rescue ranger doesn't refill ammo on your sentry, you think, holy shit, I can just zap this thing fucking away from the ether and completely invalidate the enemy team's whole efforts. As if Engineer wasn't already fucking stalematy as hell.
Yeah, and also, the Wrangler, because that weapon, like okay, in pubs, I can see it being okay at best, because there's 12 people and you're not really doing much with 12 people hitting one sentry. Well, that's never gonna happen in pubs. But in a competitive game, aka 9 people or 6 people, 5 people or 6 people in this case, 6 people hitting just one sentry with the Wrangler out, that's still gonna take a lot to it. Yeah, and keep in mind, even when you switch off the Wrangler, you still have the shield for like 3 seconds, is it?
Yeah, and you can just Sigafu save it away.
Yeah.
You can Sigafu save it away.
The Sigafu save, which is popularized guess who? And
it was always such a fucking loved maneuver, wasn't it? And I hated it. I fucking despise it.
People say that you can't do it anymore because of the ammo buff, but the original Sigafu save was guess where? Right in front of a spawn. On Barn Blitz, I think.
Yeah, Barn Blitz is fucking Barn Blitz is terrible when it comes to NG spam.
Yeah, and like I said about the Rescue Ranger, you can just sit right outside your spawn and just shoot it a couple times with your Rescue Ranger, wrangle it if it's getting wrangle it if it takes more than 2 damage, and then shoot it a couple times with your Rescue Ranger while it's being wrangled.
Yeah.
What I think it should happen is that when it's wrangled, or when it's down from the 3 seconds afterwards, it can't be healed. Or when it's being wrangled at all, it can't be healed at all.
Well, actually, it does have a reduced amount of healing it takes while it has a shield on, so it's not quite as tanky as one would think.
Doesn't the Rescue Ranger go through that though?
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't actually. It does. It doesn't. It does. Its healing per bolt is reduced while the shield is up, but you can still teleport it away.
Okay.
Okay, the teleport part is a cool mechanic. I like it. There's nothing wrong with the teleport.
Right.
But the just the shield and the healing is the main part.
Now imagine all that on a fucking mini sentry. People's blood vessels are gonna burst.
Oh god.
A mini sentry with 300 health.
No, thank you.
Right.
That shoots twice as fast.
Nope. So much nope.
Okay, now then. We're gonna move on to Mim! And we're gonna be talking about the good old Vitasaur. Oh my god, I have the strong opinion on this one, I believe, so I'm gonna fucking open. Fuck this thing! I fucking hate the whole concept of the fact that it okay, I'm not going to say it rewards you for dying like so many people do, but you're only getting its benefit by dying. And as medic, you're probably the one class that should be dying the least. Other classes, okay, it's fine for them to take one for the team. Get the pun. But you're the medic. You should be up at all times, healing at all times. Medic is the most central class in the meta because of how good he is at healing. If you kill the medic, you are the supreme MVP. You are the true dominant team player. Oh, but what's that? The medic got 20% Uber, therefore you killed him at the wrong time, which means he has a leg up on your medic if they both respawn, if your medic is not using it. So because you killed the medic too slow, now you're punished.
Better luck next time, Placchino.
You're punished for it. And what's the downside? 10 less health. That's it. That doesn't push the medic to any health boundaries. It doesn't make him a light class. He still takes 2 hits from most other classes. He still gets quickscoped just fine. What does 10 less health really change? Fuck all. Yay, it's like, yay, less work. That's a joke from Forful's Minion. Fucking hell, I'm a thief. But yeah, and okay, I get that it was nerfed into I get that it was reworked into the potatoes to have to hit people to get up to 60%. So like,
those are organs, not potatoes, but I see what you mean.
So it's like, it's a on-death version of the Uber Saw now?
The Uber Saw's still just strictly better.
Yeah, my ire is a lot more with the rework one. Like, I think it's just dead in the water now, but fucking hell, the old one. Yeah. I will go to the grave in saying that the very fucking concept of being given a benefit on death is counterintuitive. You want to be staying alive. And the most common argument I'll hear is like, it's there as a buffer in case you die, in case you get picked. Well, you know what else you could do? Surf that fucking rocket and go find a health pack, or just stay behind your teammates. Don't think about a buffer in case you die. Think about ways to actively prevent dying. Okay.
I should go ahead and note though that what you're saying is kind of true. It can promote a bad mentality around medics in regards to, oh, it's no really big deal if I die. I'm just gonna come back with so much for whatever amount of Uber that I have. Really, you know.
Well, yeah, you're cutting your Uber building by 20%. That's fucking massive.
Right. But here's the thing, though. You don't spawn with 20% Uber. You how should I put this? You have to build up to a certain amount of Uber first, based on what you get. The organs mechanic saves up to a total of 60% Uber if you can do a maximum of at least 4 hits. So if you have 4 organs, that's 15 Uber per organ. That's 60% Uber. But that's only if
this works on like bonk scouts and it works on box scouts and disguise spies, does it?
No, maybe, I don't know. No, it doesn't, because Saw doesn't get Uber from disguise. But here's the thing, though. I'd like to go ahead and stick this as a general note. Is that the Vitus Saw does not automatically generate you 60% Uber upon you respawning after dying. You have to have 60 or more Uber in order for that effect to take place, and that's if you have hit people enough times.
Yeah, exactly. I can at least appreciate
stupid enough to get within melee range of another class is pretty much good as dead.
Yeah, I can at least appreciate that the one now at least takes a modicum of skill to get that, but it's still, retaining that Uber is just such a fucking broken mechanic, like, comp-wise anyway. If we're just talking casual, no one fucking cares. Ubers in casual are like candy. Everyone gets one. But, like,
everyone gets one.
I'll concede I can concede to the fact that now, even though it's dead, it's at least passable. It's not fucking stupid like it used to be. But Jesus, holy fucking hobnob Tim Tams on a motherfucking Jesus-ridden tricycle. I fucking hate the old one. Let it burn in hell. What? Holy mother-loving hobnob Tim Tams on a Jesus-ridden tricycle. Holy shit.
Yes.
$5 to whoever animates that first.
Is this going to turn into a series that gets animated?
Yeah. $5 and a free SSD.
Stop e-begging, Alexa!
Hang on now, $5 and a free SFM poster to whoever animates that.
A free,
first, by the way.
you're a G-modder, you fucking cheapskate. Don't think you're gonna get that past me. Well, I'm not having this podcast get taken down for false advertising. Anyway, now we're gonna move on to.
Well, I mean, if it's gonna get.
Shut up!
That's one thing you're gonna have to lower in post. Bloody hell.
Right. Be polite. Be efficient. Have a plan to bullshit everyone you meet. The Machina.
Yeah. How dare you?
I hate the Machina.
How dare you?
I love its design. I love its sound. But
how dare you?
One thing about the Vitasaur, it's just one thing I hate about the Vitasaur, is that it has that nice like taunt sound when the Ubersaur doesn't.
Yeah. Fuck you. Right. Machina.
Oh, right now?
Projectile penetration.
How dare you diss my poor child?
Shut up! Right. In most avenues, I like penetration, but projectile penetration with a... Fuck, that didn't go by with a straight face. Projectile penetration with a bullet that can one-hit most classes, including a medic, through somebody else. Fuck that. Absolutely fuck that. So you're going to punish me, the medic, for staying behind my teammates and using good positioning to not put myself in the line of fire with a free kill because you shot through the heavy at the right time. I guess at the right time kinda means it's okay? But
I mean, it still requires a fully charged shot, and that still takes a good while.
Yeah,
no, there's a reason the Machina is banned in every league. I think. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It didn't use. It used to be banned in UGC, but not anywhere else. But now, like, wasn't it reworked recently a bit? No.
Not massively, no. I don't think so.
But like, you know, I think now ETF2L allowed it for the longest time. And now it's banned everywhere. I think. Don't quote me on that.
I guess comp players aren't fond of taking it in the ass.
Jesus fucking holy Christ.
Jesus? How can Jesus? Okay, whatever.
I think Alexa's the strong disagreeer here, so let's let him open his point.
Okay, so let me
what
go
point
ahead.
do you have?
You just shush. You're fucking you fucking like the ambassador so much. You know, let me have my fucking day.
I don't.
Just shush.
It is the worst weapon in the game now.
Sheesh.
I hate it.
Sheesh.
Yeah, but you have a contractual obligation to make love to that thing.
Yeah, exactly, pretty much. Yeah, you do.
Right,
yeah,
go on, Alexa.
But anyway,
off track.
So allow me to protect my sacred child. With the point out that the Machina is more or less geared around careful, precise shots. In regards to the fact that the Machina rewards you for being patient and making precise.
Isn't that what Sniper's all about?
You'd be surprised with everyone being like, "Oh, quick scopes are how you define the meta."
Yeah, exactly. So you're not really going to be able to pop off quick scopes with this thing and it be as effective as it could be. You know, like you could with a regular.
There's no downside to quick scopes with. No.
Yeah, you'd be surprised actually, but fucking sheesh. It's my turn now. But my using the Machina for as long as I have, it pretty much comes down to two general main purposes. Being patient enough to make precise picks, and
as Sniper's supposed to be,
taking advantage of targets that are clumping together too much. It is a bad idea in TF2 for any and all classes to clump up in a group together because splash damage, because critical damage, and I'm not talking just random crits, I'm talking crits Kriegers, because critical damage, because spies, because sticky traps. You know, there's any variety of things that punish players for grouping up too tightly together. The Machina is another one of those weapons in a long line of different weapons that punishes players. It punishes players for clumping up too close together in areas like corridors and things like that, or with doorways.
Hold on, I have to cut in just there. Name me any other hit scan weapon that punishes people for grouping up. Any other hit scan.
Take a moment, hang on.
Look up a list.
Shush you. I have found
oh, you're gonna be technicalities.
Hang on. Motherfucker, I can't focus when you're jeoparding my ass. Get out of here, Alex Trebek. Fucking miniguns punish for close players because if you're grouping up, you're all gonna get shredded. Some shotguns like panic attacks, since they have a wider spread, I found in my playing of them, can grind up clumped up players. Mainly anything that throws out a high DPS basically can just destroy a group of players, especially if you're playing Pyro, because imagine you come up on a Pyro, there's a bunch of people grouped up together and you're using a fucking backburner. I mean, that's just
that's not
it kind of is
somewhat
in a way.
The flames are their own fucking thing entirely. They're not hit scan
right,
projectiles.
But they still punish.
All right. Back to the Machina. Back to the Machina.
But yeah, no, the Machina punishes players for getting too clumped up together. If you bide your time and pace your shots, you can basically get rewarded with a penetration kill.
But should the already strongest class in the game be allowed to, like, ignoring Scout? Should their already strongest class in the game be allowed to do that?
Yes, because he is a pit class from long range. You shouldn't be, in any case, shape, or form, regardless of whether or not you're clumped up together or not, you should not be, if you are aware of a sniper on the enemy team, you should not be in an open area with direct sight lines to where the sniper can be, if you know where he is. Because here's the stupid thing that I found with the Machina, okay? I have played on many maps in TF2 over the course of my TF2 career.
Your life.
Over the course of my life, all 20 years of my life, I've been playing TF2. Even in the years before it came out, I was playing it. I played it before it was cool. But anyway, in a lot of the newer maps, there's a lot more open sight lines. Nowadays, it's really not. Back then, in the early TF2, when maps were really closer together, like Dust Bowl and Gold Rush and things like that,
the Machina didn't exist.
The Machina didn't really exist, and it was a lot close quarters. The sniper didn't really excel in that regard. Now, the only thing in terms of its effectiveness is if you're dealing with players that are grouping up still in an open area, they're not choosing to spread out. That's where the Machina excels. Sure, yeah, you could probably take it and spam it down a choke, but honest to God, who the hell manages to actually get anything doing that? Many times I've actually, fairly in all honesty, I've actually seen snipers sometimes try to do that on like Dust Bowl or whatnot, and they just get shredded because they're moving too far forward. Sniper is a pit class. He has the potential to take out targets from long range. The Machina rewards him for careful aim and patience with higher damage on body shot and headshot. In fact, the Machina is about the only damn thing that can get past, at a full charge of a headshot, that can get past a Vaccinator passive bubble on a heavy. Which, to be perfectly honest, was about the perfect damn thing to deal with cheaters in a regard. Yeah, because if you get a cheater with a fucking Vaxi on him, it kind of makes it difficult to deal with.
Yeah, but like you say, he's a pick class, which usually implies... Hold on. I'll get to you in a moment, Snooze. Pick implies one target at a time, while Power class implies taking on multiple people. Soldier and Demo excel at taking on grouped up people, but Spy doesn't have any way to kill more than one person in one blow. Why should Sniper? I don't see why a pick class should.
Okay, you're missing the point of why the Machina is banned in competitive and stuff like that. It's not because of the penetration. Who cares about that?
And the penetration is actually really a lot more situational than you think it would be.
Okay, just spell it out for us.
It's about the bonus damage. Like on what downside? Oh no, you can't no scope. Oh no. And
you also fire a tracer around too.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. That's my biggest beef with this stupid weapon. What's the point of the tracer? What's the downside?
You are the thing though with the tracer round is that as a sniper, most of the time you're trying to stay
No.
hidden
I
Okay,
ain't gonna buy that. In a competitive setting, people are already most likely gonna see you because they'll check the comments.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
And here's the
know.
thing.
God, that hurt.
I know.
Turning that down in post.
And just leave a long block of silence so know if something there.
Okay, go on.
Okay. Silence over. I feel like the tracer round. Let's say we're playing in sixes, which is where most of my hate for weapons come from. Even I played a lot of sixes. I've made it to playoffs in multiple different seasons.
Okay, go on.
And so I'd say I have experience in this.
Okay, so
when I say that sniper, sniper is rarely seen in competitive, but or in sixes that is. But when he is, you better know about it. Because the main point of sniper in sixes is to be a one-off thing. You can run him full time, but most of the time sites won't allow you to. And I mean, it's not hard to counter a sniper as like soldier someone. And the tracer round, your point is that it makes you noticeable. So, but in general, after a sniper takes off his first shot, even if he misses, you will be able to hear it, and you know, if you have ears, which you should, and you should be able to like see it. And with the Machina makes no difference. All it does is make you even more noticeable to something that you already should notice. Like if you just randomly take 50 damage exact out of nowhere, what other weapons could do exactly 50 damage?
None. That's the most terrible sign of a fucking sniper.
Yeah, like, okay, maybe some other weapons on rare occasions, but no weapon, I don't think, in the game deals 50 damage all the time.
Yeah.
Regardless of what.
Okay.
All the time, every time.
The bonus damage allows like a fully charged body shot with it, 173, which leaves demos on a whopping 2 HP.
Yeah.
And you know, 2 HP is less than anything, or less than anything in the game deals, besides the shortstop stuff. But if you're shoving people in competitive, you're not playing it.
Okay.
You're not doing it right.
So so the bonus damage is negligible, or it's a big bonus for almost no downside.
Yeah. Okay, we're approaching an hour 10, so we're going to move on to our last weapon of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, Monsieur Ski Mask Baguette Thief. And don't worry, we're not going to be talking about Snooze's hated weapons this podcast. We'll get to them at some point, just because Alexa's fucking begging me. Today, we're going to be talking about the Diamondback. And because Snooze is our resident best hit scanner, we'll let him open.
Diamondback, it rewards the other team for being stupid. Okay, so the Diamondback itself deals ambassador amount of damage on body shot. On body shot, keep that in mind, not in headshot, because
on any
lol.
shot.
On any shot, which is a decent amount.
102,
and
yeah,
102. In pubs, it's amazing.
Because you got to put that into perspective.
In competitive, it's banned because of, you know, the reason of the downside is what? No random crit, 15% damage penalty, which is already in the ambassador, and oh no random crits.
Jesus.
And you know, if unless you're playing season 1 of or UGC Highlander, there should be no random crits in the league you're playing. Fun fact, the first season of TF2 competitive had random crits, and it was on 2 fort.
What the fuck?
It was on 2 fort.
Oh god.
So, yeah, I can link you a video after.
But do that afterwards. Do that fucking afterwards. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Okay,
and also, so it rewards the other team for being stupid. So, like, if you like, okay, I'm gonna bring up the ambassador versus Diamondback thing here. So let's say you're post nerf ambassador, but when it existed in the game. Okay, to do 102 damage with the ambassador, you would have to carefully aim for the head, right? You know, aim for a small hitbox. I won't get into why that's hard, because if you think the ambassador was easy, you are mentally retarded, and you should go see a...
Mentally?
Yeah.
also, I'd just like to throw this thing real quick. Just put into perspective that 102 crit on a body shot is basically max scattergun damage.
110 is around there.
Okay, nearly there. Nearly.
Nearly there. Nearly there.
Nearly there. And, you know, so let's say you get one backstab. Normally, Spy is supposed to die after he gets one backstab in competitive. In rare occasions, he may get 2. Sometimes 3. But if you get 3...
And when the stars align and the moon turns red, he'll get 4.
When Pocahontas explains what a blue corn moon is, he'll get 5.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck?
So...
when Jesus comes riding in a town on a motorcycle, he'll get 5.
Anyway...
Get to the point!
So, the ambassador's 102 was taken from skill. And getting a backstab, honestly, isn't too hard. Like, okay, if the other team doesn't know you exist, right then and there, it's easy to get a backstab, because the only thing countering Spy are other people's, like, intelligence. That's the main communication, and just Spy in general is revolved around the other team being dumb and stupid. The Diamondback enforces that idea more by, you know, a crit, or a backstab gives you 1 guaranteed crit from across the map. Now you could say, oh, that was the ambassador could do that. Well, you actually have to aim the ambassador. You don't have to aim a backstab, to be perfectly honest. You just click in their general direction of. And so let's also not forget, if you sap a building, you get crits. If you sap a teleport entrance and exit, you get 2 crits. 102 damage plus, or 102 times 2. That's, you know, enough to kill a soldier in just 2 hits, and the Diamondback already shoots pretty fast. What is it? And here's the thing. The ambassador had a firing speed down. 20% slowing firing speed.
Did it?
Yeah, it still does.
I can't... Wait, don't you mean the ambassador?
The ambassador has a 20% less firing speed.
Yeah, the
Diamondback shoots at revolver speed.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, I'm gonna find a Demoman here. Actually, it doesn't matter. 102. So, 1, 2. It just takes, like, a second to do 2 shots.
Or hell, you backstab a power class, turn around, crit the medic, and then shoot him once more. Even if that second shot isn't a crit.
Let's say that second shot, like, let's say you don't live for the second shot. That medic's still on really low HP, and
38.
At that point, like, you kill the power class. Let's say he's healing a soldier. You kill the soldier, turn around, and shoot the medic. Leaves on 48. And, you know, your soldier could then jump in and then kill him.
Or just a random sticky out of nowhere.
Yeah, a random sticky.
Yeah.
There's just loads of ways you can do 48 damage.
Okay, Alexa, because don't worry, Snooze. I think we get the idea. We get the idea.
We get the idea. You think it's broken competitive wise. But don't worry. As a casual,
and in pub wise, No. Hold on.
It's my turn, Frappuccino.
Fight.
No, and hold on. In casual, it's even more broken, because in casual, the people playing are
dumb.
Are stupid and dumb.
Well,
no,
here's the
actually,
thing,
offensive if you play casual. Offensive play casual, you're most of the time.
Am I gonna be able to speak? Or...
Yes,
not yet. And it, like, in casual, there's always gonna be Hanzelo Gonzalez,
my God.
2008. You know, just at spawn, just sitting right outside, you know, just looking at the ground,
literally
admiring the textures.
Casual players are Skyrim NPCs reacting to 100 stealth.
Exactly.
A Okay, now,
but
Alexa, take it away.
yeah. Now that I can finally fucking speak,
Look at you,
the
being so
Diamondback, the Diamondback, in its inherent nature, in a public lobby setting, really is not all that powerful. I really don't even see that many spies running it, and it's just you know, fucking.
You just invalidate your own point.
Shush.
Shush.
Shush, damn it.
Okay, give him a chance. You did take like 5 minutes, Snooze.
Yeah, you took more like 3 centuries, but yeah, fucking so the Diamondback again is really not all that powerful a weapon. Sure, yeah, you get crits for doing whatever spy does, but that's if you had the skill to pull them off. Newer spies are not going to really be able to effectively use it as much as more skilled spies do, who know how to move undercloak, who know how to position themselves up for backstab, who know how to take care of or take advantage of distractions on the enemy team. They will benefit more from using the Diamondback than a newer spy.
Like a newer player shouldn't okay. Newer players should be bad at the game because they're new. So as such, they shouldn't be able to get the crits that easily. So as such, you say that you don't see many. You said you don't see many spies using it.
I don't see.
Where's your?
Okay,
because
go on.
Motherfucker. Anyway, so here's the thing though about spies using the Diamondback and newer spies using the Diamondback and things that why you don't normally see them. The Diamondback does reward you for your skill, or at least in having the skill to pull off a backstab or sapping a building or taking care of a nest with a crit or 2. But here's the thing though. You still you bring up the argument though that with the ambassador you have to aim. The same is true with the Diamondback. You don't just point in the general direction and they take it. Random bullet spread is still a thing in casual, and fucking sorry, I had to swallow. Fucking, hit registration is really fucking wonky in this game. So you can probably you can hit a sniper from close range with the damn Diamondback, and it will not register at all. And there goes a crit shot. It's not like it happens from time to time.
Then the sniper has the same problem.
Yeah,
another thing. You're putting the weapon up to it just being the game being glitchy, being bad, which it is, and you're just taking all the
there's one, Alexa, sorry, but there's one thing you said that really I can't kind of wrap my head around. You're saying it's more useful for better spies, but what's stopping a better spy from just using the ambassador instead? Okay, imagine the ambassador is
Jungle Inferno, that's what.
That Jungle Inferno.
Okay, ignore that. Well, I mean, good spies who still use it at close range pull it off, but just imagine for a second the ambassador was still what it used to be. What would stop a good spy from using that ambassador over the Diamondback?
Probably general reliability, I suppose, in terms of the Diamondback.
What? Really? I think if you've got good aim, it's more reliable to hit headshots than go for backstabs.
That's true, but you do have to take in consideration nowadays with the fucking damage fall off that the Diamondback has now. You're gonna be the Ambi has now. Fucking you may be able to hit somebody with at medium range with a headshot that normally would have done 102 damage. But what if it happens to fucking do 83 or some minimal ass fucking 60 something damage?
Exactly.
You're gonna be in a damn hole there. Then the Diamondback at least is consistent in the amount of crits in critical damage that it can do. It's 102 every time.
The Ambi was nerfed for the same. The Diamondback has the same thing the Ambassador was nerfed for. People didn't like that it could do a 102 damage at long sniper range. I'm not going to get into whether I agree with that or not, because that's more of a snooze thing, LMAO. But the Diamondback can still do what the Ambassador was pretty much hated for. Is that fair?
I think the Ambassador can headshot. There's no added. The Ambassador headshots and it has no added outside characteristic that factors into the headshot. A headshot it made a critical hit if it performs as such. No other revolver that the spy has that attribute. So the Diamondback relies on the spy having prior either made a backstab kill or built or destroyed a engineer building.
Is much easier than getting a headshot.
You say that, but with as variable
no buts.
You say that with as variable as casual can be, it might be difficult to actually try to get behind and destroy something or get a backstab. Believe me, I know. It varies from day to day with me.
I know. How many hours of... Okay. How many hours of this bloody class do I have? Hold on. I'm gonna check this. You continue with your god-awful point.
Oof.
I like to point out that the Diamondback is skill based in regards to the fucking, for fuck's sake, you know, it's based off of the skill in regards to doing your job as a spy. You're rewarded with a crit, kind of like the Frontier Justice as an engineer.
Okay, just real quick. Just real quick. We're coming to 1 minute 20. So let's try and wrap it up. Let's just let Alexa finish off his last point.
Okay, so let me go through this whole point unabated because I keep getting off track and I can't focus because you fuckers are interrupting me.
Okay, go on. Okay, just this time, go on. Just let him talk.
Okay, the Diamondback is a skill-based revolver that, while I do agree the minimal the minus 15 damage and the no random critical hits really doesn't offer that much in terms of a balance option, it's still in its base property not really that overpowered because of the fact that it's rewarding you first of all for skill in regards to either making a backstab or two or destroying an engineer nest, and you have to do those things prior to using the Diamondback's, you know, crit thing. It's not like you can just backstab a Bonk Scout or maybe just go in with some sort of secret agenda and automatically get a free crit. No, you have to make a backstab kill or destroy a building with the Sapper. You cannot utilize the critical hit function of the Diamondback without doing either one of the two of those things. So once you've done that, now you have a crit that you can either utilize in your escape if someone is chasing you, or you can kind of go back in and maybe utilize it to take out some other standstill target or some unaware target. You know, like maybe an engineer turtling away at a dispenser, or a sniper. A sniper focusing down a sight line. You know, that's what the Diamondback excels at. The Ambassador does also have a set of skill, but it has no outside influence based on its ability to headshot. You don't have to backstab someone or destroy something or kill someone in order to earn the headshot. It headshots regardless of whatever outside factors that there are. The Diamondback has to have several outside factors come into play. You have to backstab or you have to destroy a building. You have to do one of those two things before it can do the crit, and that's why it's more or less of a balanced weapon than people seem to think that it is. People think it's OP because well, you know, you backstab somebody, you get 102. Yeah, because that spy is skilled enough to do that.
Okay. So what I think his point boils down to is the ambassador can headshot all the time. But what the Diamondback is allowed to body shot because it requires more setup to actually get the crits. Is that what you're getting at?
Pretty much, yeah.
I can see the point, but I think the effort that setup takes is too little for the upside that you're getting.
Well, you do have to factor into account the skill of the team that you're dealing with and the players you're dealing with. Because sometimes, you know, yeah, you can probably pick off some poor, unaware, retarded bastard on the enemy team.
There's
and
that,
just
you could just sap a lone teleporter that you found.
Yeah,
sometimes it can be as easy as that.
And
yeah,
you know, sapping a teleporter, don't forget, saps both ends.
Yeah,
so let's say,
two crits.
and even if he gets rid of one of them, like it's still the other one that's like, even if he gets rid of one of them, you can still shoot the you shoot the teleporter to make it go down quicker. And then you're basically guaranteed a crit there. Okay, what are you gonna use that crit for? All right, so you see like a sniper under 102, dead. You see a medic under 102, dead. Anything's just
Okay,
dead.
let's
and
closing points, so let's so we can wrap this up.
And you don't have to aim for it.
Yeah, you kind of do, but
No, you
still,
don't. When compared to the ambassador, like you're doing, no.
I mean, you still kind of have to aim if you want to hit the damn thing, and even then, it's kind of very.
Okay, you want to? All right. Would you rather aim for a small head hitbox, or a largo, big body hitbox?
So thick.
Yeah,
whatever fucking gets the job done.
And you know, you invalidate your own point when saying, oh, if we're going to say that, like, if we're gonna bring in the TF2 being glitchy, all right, let's just say you like have high ping or whatever. If you have a correct interp setting, you will you have a much higher chance of hitting the shot than you do with like a lower interp setting. So if you have higher ping, it's easier to hit shots. That's why a lot of American snipers, or vice versa, that's why all American or European snipers play on different continents entirely, because it's easier to get headshots on higher pings than it is with lower, because you have that buffer.
Alright, I think we'll leave it off for there. This is basically the most stalematy we've ever gotten. One side says the setup the Diamondback requires means the body shots are deserving. The other side says it's way too easy.
And it's correct.
You both think you're correct. You both think you're correct. We'll leave it at that.
Well, I'm actually correct.
Oh, okay, shut the fuck up. I love you anyway. Right.
No,
this has been the second episode of Minty's Monty. Me, of course, being joined by the ever so adorably aspiring Snooze.
Boingy, boingy, boingy.
Oh my god. And the eccentric egalitarian Alexa Zodiria.
Disclaimer, my yeet meter is still at maximum.
Disclaimer, I'm going to shove a fist up your ass. And this, of course, has been your favourite cup of coffee, Minty Coffee. And we all shall see you next time in the next episode. No, you may not. We shall see you next time on Minty's Monty. 3, 2, 1. Bye.
Yeah.